Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to Freya's Forge. Just wanted to pop on here with a little bit of a vlog today, and I was trying to think about what to talk about because I'm not really into the whole vlog thing so much yet. I'm getting there. But the thing I wanted to talk to you all about today is stepping out of your comfort zone. And Peppy just walked in. And this whole channel is like me throwing those doors wide open on my comfort zone and really stepping way outside of it, y'all. It's been really kind of an eye-opening experience for me to set up my camera and just sit down and have conversations with people, most of whom I don't know, I know a lot of the people who are currently subscribers and viewers of the channel are people who love me and who are friends, but as the channel grows, that may change. And so part of what I'm doing this channel for is not necessarily for those who are watching, but what I wanted to come on here and talk to you all about today is stepping out of your comfort zone. And one of the ways that I really have stepped out of my comfort zone is sitting down and actually doing tarot readings for someone else. I've done readings for myself for a very, very long time. I have occasionally read for other people that I know pretty good. But one of the things about tarot is that it's really easy when you're reading for yourself or even someone that you are very close to read into the reading, as it were. You kind of know the situation. Get a little sip of coffee here. You know the situation, you know the person, you know what's going on in their life. Probably, even if they don't tell you what the topic is, they'll telegraph it. And if it's someone you know really well, like Seraphim and I have a really hard time reading for each other because it's almost as bad as reading for ourselves, because we've known each other a long, long time. We've been married almost 26 years now. We have been together almost 27 years now. So we know each other really, really well. And so we telegraph what we think about what that person just said or whatever pretty easily. So one of my comfort zone stepping outside of is reading for the channel, for other people. And just really, because it's something I've been drawn to for a really long time. It's really psychologically interesting. It's very symbolically interesting. Different cards have different meanings. Different cards in different decks have different meanings. So one of the things that I'm going to be doing in some of my card readings for the channel is not just different piles, but different decks. So someone might be more drawn to the Celtic Dragon deck or to the Rider-Waite-Smith-Coleman deck or Hanson Roberts or Universal Waite or the Witch's Tarot or whatever. So another thing about the whole getting out of your comfort zone is realizing that, and I think I've said this in other videos, it's one of my favorite phrases, and I really need to look up who said it, and I will do that before I make this video live, and I'll put it in the description. But one of my favorite mantras is, other people's opinions are none of my business. So I am middle-aged, I'm plus-sized, I have nerve damage in my face. I've got a lot of things that I could say are bad or not aesthetically pleasing or whatever. And over the years, since the nerve damage happened when I was in, oh goodness, like 8th grade. We're still not really entirely sure what happened, what caused it, whether it's Bell's palsy, whether I had a mini stroke, what happened, because my mother was never really one to take us to the doctor for things. And so I really never had a doctor treat it when it happened. So I, to this day, really, even though I've been to doctors since then and talked to them, my current physician, who is amazing, we're pretty sure it was Bell's palsy, and I'm one of those lucky people that it didn't resolve. Most of the time when you have Bell's palsy, it resolves itself within a few months, and you never really even know you had it. I had it on the other side of my face, and that one did resolve, so I know that it does resolve pretty, like you never even had it, but it was a little scary there for a while because suddenly I had nerve damage on both sides of my face, and it's like, oh, this is interesting. Okay. Anyway, moving on. But when it first happened, kids are mean. I don't know if you've had that experience. I imagine, unless you were one of the mean kids, which I hope if you're watching this channel, if you were one of the mean kids, you have grown beyond that. But kids are mean, and they will make fun of you, and they will taunt you, and they will just be cruel to you. I'm very, very grateful, though I am very grateful for the platform of YouTube and Facebook and, things like that. Now, I am really very grateful that this sort of stuff did not exist when I was in school, because I don't think I could have handled cyberbullying on top of everything else. So I'm really trying to move past what other people think about me, where I can stand up for myself and really help other people stand up for themselves. So, one of my friends said that she really liked the last vlog because it was like sitting down with a friend and not a teacher, which is kind of what I'm wanting to do. I don't want to set myself up as I'm better than you. Okay. We talked about that in our, Sarah Fell and I sat down and talked about that in our video about the principles of belief and what is Wicca and all that sort of stuff. And just because I have degrees, both academic and spiritual, just because I have been sitting and studying this for over half my life at this point, well over half my life at this point, that doesn't make me any better than anybody else. And I really want the channel to be more of conversations with a friend rather than a teacher. Okay. So if there are things that I'm saying, if I'm being offensive in any way, or setting myself to be better than, or whatever, please call me out on it, y'all. Okay. I think that those of us who have taken a step out of our comfort zone, again, that's kind of what we're talking about today, taking a step out of the comfort zone and putting ourselves out on YouTube, it's not because we're better than anybody else. We might have some knowledge that we wish to impart to other people, that we might look at things differently than other people. We might have a different perspective on things. But guess what? If you're watching this, you have those perspectives too. You have that new way of looking at things that I might be very curious about. So let's have that conversation. If I talk about something that you have a different perspective on it, let's talk about it. Because I want to learn just as much from you as I hope you're learning from me. So, stepping out of the comfort zone is just really this whole situation, the whole reason for starting this channel, the whole kit and caboodle is that I just want to step out of that comfort zone. It's been a nice, safe, warm, cocoon like place for me over the years where I have not left jobs that I wasn't really happy about because it was safe. I've not left relationships because, oh, if I leave this person or if I let them break up with me, I'm not going to ever find anybody better. I've stayed living at home, when I was living with my mother longer than I really should have, right? Because she was an extremely toxic woman. It was almost 100% because of her that I didn't start therapy when I should have, because I believed that it wasn't going to work, because it never worked for her. But that's a whole different story for a whole different time, right? So we stay in situations, we stay with people, we stay in jobs, we stay in living situations, we stay at a certain weight, or we stick with the same hairstyle or hair color or whatever because it's comfortable and safe, and because most people do not handle change very well. And that's one of the things that I'm really striving to do, is look at the ways that my life isn't working, whether that's a job, a relationship, a living situation, whatever, and change it if it's not working for me anymore. And I'll say, right now, as we sit here while I'm recording this video, life's pretty freaking awesome. The only way in which life could get better is if we were more financially stable. But you know what? I have a great home. I have a fantastic husband. I have kitty cats and a puppy dog who are my whole life. I have you all. I have my art and my writing and just this sense of peace that I haven't had before. So life is pretty freaking awesome. So how can I make that really freaking awesome life even more awesome? So one of the things that, talking about getting out of your comfort zone, I have now completed 6 half marathons. We talked about me being midlife, plus sized, to use the tagline from one of my favorite podcasts, Not Your Average Runner. Check it out. I'll link it in the description because she's awesome. Even if you're not really a runner or think you can't be a runner, anyway, I'll link it in the description because she's awesome. But I have actually completed 6 half marathons. And if you had told me 10 years ago that I'd be sitting here now telling you that, I would have told you maybe you should get a psych consult because I think you're crazy. But I finally stepped out and said, you know what? I can do this. Will I win this race? No. But did I win? Yes, I did, because I crossed the finish line. The most recent one that I did was the Haunted Half Marathon in 2019. That was number 6. And the 6th live and in person. Okay, so yeah, 2020 was a whole hot mess for all the reasons. 2021 wasn't a whole lot better. I only did one live race in 2021. But The race that I did in 2019, I was pretty well trained for it. You know, I did my training regimen. I was out every weekend doing long runs. You know, I felt very, very ready for it. And I was on track to actually probably getting a personal record at that race. And then at about mile 10, I stepped funny. There was a little divot in the road, or I don't even know what happened, but I stepped funny, and I have bursitis in my left hip. Part of that whole being fluffy and plus sized, and having been a dancer and a skater and a whole mess of things that I did to my body when I was a young person, and I'm not a young person anymore. So I stepped funny and ended up having to slowly walk the last 5K, 3.1 miles of this half marathon. Thankfully, I had my phone with me. I texted Sarah Fell, who went over to the race coordinator and said she's still on the course. She is going to finish, but she's being really slow about it. And thankfully, the course people were amazing at this race, and they held that finish line open for me. And I got around the corner. I'm coming down. I'm coming to the finish, and I am kind of hating life. I'm not gonna lie. I hurt. I was in tears. I wasn't sure. I'm like, I can see the finish line, but I don't know if I'm gonna finish because it was just that bad. And there was a couple there who had finished. They were just hanging out in downtown Jonesboro, and they saw me coming, and they came and they walked the last little bit with me. And I may tear up here, but it was such an awesome experience when they did that, because it was like, okay, I'm not doing this by myself. I'm not gonna cross this finish line by myself. And of course, Serafell's standing there, woohoo, you know, you did it, as he has done at every race that I have ever finished. There was like one race that I did where I crossed the finish line without him there because he was not doing great medically, and I told him to, it was May, it was hot, it was humid. I said, you need to stay your butt home, because I don't want you out here in this heat and this humidity waiting for me to finish a 10K. Anyway, so I finished that race. I hated life for a little while, and the reason I'm telling that story is because dead last, you know, because I was the last person that crossed that finish line, and dead last beats did not finish, and did not finish beats did not start. Yes, it is hard to get to a finish line of a race, but what's harder is having that internal fortitude to get you to the start line. And so what I want to encourage you all to do today is think about a start line you want to get to. It doesn't even have to be a race. You know, we're talking metaphors here. I do that. I have a degree in English. Metaphorically, what's a start line you want to get to? Do you want to start a YouTube channel where you just vlog a couple times a week? Do it. Let me know what it is. I'll come watch you. I'll be your first subscriber. Do you want to learn how to draw? Do you want to learn a new language? Do you want to sing in a choir? What do you want to do? Let me know, and I will be your cheerleader, because that's what I do. One of the things I love to do more than pretty much anything else is encourage other people to get to those metaphorical start lines and to get to those metaphorical finish lines. And one of the things I really like to do is get people to the literal start line and the literal finish line. So if there's a race that you are, like a literal race, like a 5K, 10K, 8K, half marathon, whatever, that this vlog has encouraged you to step outside of your comfort zone and you want to do a race. If it's local and you want somebody to metaphorically hold your hand while you walk or run this race, I'll come do it with you. If you're not local and you want somebody to metaphorically hold your hand while you do the race, let's train together. Part of the, while this channel is predominantly pagan and Wiccan and woo-woo, it's about my life as a Wiccan, my life as a pagan, my life. And so part of what I have crazily done, that whole step outside your comfort zone theme for today, is I am currently registered for a full marathon, y'all. Let's think about that for a minute. What does that mean? If you're not a runner, you're like, most people think that anything that you put running shoes on and you go do is a marathon. How'd that 5K marathon go? What a marathon is, for those who are unaware, it is 26.2 miles. Yes, 26.2 miles. That's almost 30 miles, y'all. And I am not the fastest runner. But again, going back to the Not Your Average Runner podcast, if you run, you are a runner, period. And so even though I run very slowly, Internet Explorer on dial-up is sometimes faster than I am, and that's okay. I'm still a runner. It's going to take me a long time to cover 26.2 miles. So part of my issue is that the race that I am signed up for, which is the Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon in Knoxville, Tennessee, in March of 2022, is the one I'm signed up for. And I am not sure. I'm going to sit here. Part of this channel is about being authentic. And so I ain't going to lie to you about anything. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. My love is of the tough variety in a lot of ways, especially to myself. And so I am not going to lie to you. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it in the time that they allot. Because while it is a generous amount of time, they allot 7 hours. That's a 16-minute mile. The fastest I have done a half marathon is a little over 4 hours. I'll have to look it up and see what the actual time is. I will do that, and I will put it in the description below because, again, I'm going to be honest with you. And so I am not going to lie. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it in the time allotted with the time I have left to train. But does that mean I'm not going to try? No, it doesn't. Might I, when they have the official race results posted, have a DNF next to my name, which is did not finish? Maybe. But am I still going to try? Yes, I am. Because this, the 2020 is going to be my year. 2021 is going to be my year. Well, we're not going to say 2022 is our year because we don't want to taunt it, right? I'm only kidding. But 2022 is definitely going to be the year I really step out of my comfort zone. And 2021, the latter part of it, since October, is me stepping out of my comfort zone. And so I registered for a full marathon. I registered for the full for 2020 and knew by about January that I wasn't going to be able to finish in the time allotted. And the good thing about it is you can edit your registration and go with the half, because they do a half and a full at the same time. So I had said, you know what, I'm not ready to do the full. My body's like, I don't think so. I'm just gonna do the half. And so I had edited my registration back to the half. And then COVID hit and it didn't happen anyway. And so it went virtual in November. I decided I didn't really want to do it virtually. I put it off, deferred, that's the word, deferred to 2021. It was supposed to happen in March. It didn't happen in March. Thank you, COVID. Thank you, Delta variant, all that fun stuff. And so it was going to happen on October the 3rd, which is my mom's birthday, my best friend Susie's birthday. Happy birthday. But I decided, you know what? I'm going to switch it to virtual and I'm just going to do the full and see if I can do the full. Well, I've got all the goodies. I've got all the hardware to earn that medal, but I haven't actually gone out and done it yet. So I don't know if I'm going to get it done before the end of 2021 or not. I've still got a few weeks. I may try it. It may be on the treadmill and take me all freaking day to do it with breaks and stuff, but I'm going to try it. I will report back, let you know if I did or not. But I am going to do the full marathon in March of 2022, even if it means that I get swept and I run with a police escort and not actually have an official time because I didn't actually finish it. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm really going to train as though and believe, act as if, we're going to talk a lot about law of attraction and things on the channel. And one of the things is acting as if. So every time I do a training run, I'm acting as if I'm going to finish the full marathon in 15 weeks from yesterday. I counted. And I'm going to visualize me crossing that finish line, getting that medal, all the things. Even if I do end up hating life because I've pushed my body to the point where it's just like, we're done now. But this is one of those things where I have just really felt like it's something I need to do. And while there is that safety net of backing it off to the half again, I'm going to avoid that as much as I possibly can. I'm going to tell myself, Kelshay, you're doing the full. You're doing the full. You're doing the full. Because I really want to push myself out of my comfort zone. The half marathon is a hard race. It's 13.1 miles. Or as I cheekily call it, a 5K with a 10-mile warm-up. There's all kinds of mental tricks that runners do. But I am really hoping that I have the equipment that I can take you all along with me as I do the marathon. I don't know what I'm allowed to have and what I'm not allowed to have. I'm going to have to look that up. But as far as, being able to record myself at, mile 1, mile 2, whatever, we'll see how it goes. But come along with me as I take that journey. We may do some videos on my training. We'll see how it goes. If anyone even cares about it. There may be videos, even if you don't care and you don't have to watch them. I will put that in the title and in the description, training vlog, day whatever, and you can just move right past it, and that's okay. But please step outside your comfort zone with me as I try this journey towards completing a full marathon. No, that's not really, germane to the topic of paganism and Wicca and new agey stuff. the channel's still going to have talk about the Wiccan religion and the pagan religion, and, you know, magical tools and Wheel of the Year and meditation and all of that stuff. But it's also gonna have some talk about my journey towards this huge milestone that I have in front of me. So I hope you got a little bit of something out of this today. It is kind of rambly and free form, and, you know, that's okay. But step outside your comfort zone with me and decide on something. What do you want to do? What is something that you would do if money were no object, if time were no object, if you felt like you couldn't fail? Because there's no such thing as failure. You're just going to find a way that didn't work, and that's okay. So what is it that you want to do that if you didn't think you were going to fail at it, what would you try? Do you want to sing? Do you want to dance? Do you want to write? Do you want to create content? Do you want to have an English country garden? Do you want to run a marathon? What do you want to do? Let's do it together, because I'm going to do this. So come along with me as we do this. And until next time, thank you for spending some time with me today, and let's do this.